Go ahead and call this meeting to order. Ask everybody to please stand. Join in the pledge of allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, and please remain standing. We'll go ahead and have a moment of silence for those serving overseas for our country, those here at home. Most importantly, our employees and staff here at the city of Hazelwood and our residents here in the city of Hazelwood. And any of us that have lost a loved one or a friend here recently, let's please remember them also.
And Mayor, may I say something real fast?
Yes.
And may we keep the people out in California in our prayers. I do have family members out there, and I know there's other people that may have friends and family out there. So if we can also keep them in our prayers, I would really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. May be seated. At this time, we'll have an adoption of the agenda. Oh, I'm sorry, I skipped over roll call. Roll call, please. Who's here? Who's not?
Mr. Smith?
Yes,
Ms. Catton? Here. Mr. Hoops?
Present.
Mr. Armstrong? Mr. Marquez?
Here.
Ms. Wadlow? Here. Mayor Robinson?
Here.
Ms. Matlock?
Here.
Mr. Taylor?
Here.
Quorum is present.
Now we'll go with the adoption of the agenda as printed. Is there any discussion?
Move to adopt. Second.
There's been a motion and a second. If there's no further discussion, this is a all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? The ayes have it. Next, we have the consent agenda. Is there any discussion on the consent agenda?
Move to approve.
Second.
A motion and a second. If there's no further discussion, this is a roll call vote, please.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Ms. Catton? Yes. Mr. Hoops?
Yes.
Mr. Marquez?
Yes.
Ms. Wadlow?
Yes.
Mayor Robinson?
Yes.
Ms. Matlock?
Yes.
Mr. Taylor?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Next, we have Employee Services Awards. We've got Fire Chief Dan Luley, 25 years.
Dan started his career as a paramedic with Christian Hospital in June of 1987. While working at Christian Hospital, Dan attended the St. Louis County Fire Academy, graduating in November of 1999. Soon after graduating from the Fire Academy, Dan was hired by the Hazelwood Fire Department as a firefighter paramedic on December 20th, 1999. After serving 13 years as a firefighter paramedic and a certified frontline fire truck driver operator, in March of 2012, Dan was promoted to Deputy Fire Chief. Dan has several commendations and awards for his professionalism as a firefighter paramedic and Deputy Fire Chief. In May of 2023, Dan was promoted to Fire Chief of the Hazelwood Fire Department. Dan resides in Florissant with his wife, Lisa, and when not on duty, he and his wife enjoy spending time with their 4 children, Rob, Chris, Danielle, and Caitlin, and their grandchildren, Jessica, Christopher, Courtney, Ryan, Serenity, Madeline, Colson, and Cooper. Congratulations, Chief Luley, on your 25 years of hard work and dedication to the Hazelwood Fire Department.
Family. And then we'll bring your crew, your teams up to after the family. They're fun. This is real good.
George.
Very good, thank you. You want your crews? Firefighters?
Well, I guess you could say if they.
The Corps. No, they're part of the crew?
Yeah. Watch the cord. Can't trip on the cord. Don't trip on the cord.
I'm gonna go around.
Julie's gonna read it.
Next, we have employee introduction, Human Resources Manager Tiffany Paul, being presented by David Leeser, our city manager, interim city manager.
Okay.
Tiffany Paul, our new human resource manager. She started on Monday, January 6th. Tiffany is a seasoned human resource professional with over 15 years of experience, primarily in the government sector and specializing in fostering collaboration, driving innovation, and ensuring seamless organizational transition. She is passionate about aligning people's strategies with business goals to create lasting impact. Tiffany is a proud graduate of Lindenwood University and a certified senior professional in human resources through HRCI. When she is not building workplace cultures, you'll find her exploring new destinations, cherishing time with her family and friends, and spoiling her high-spirited Yorkie Poo Bentley. Welcome to Hazelwood.
Right, I'll do it. Thank you. Thank you.
Next, we have police officers Ashley Johnson and Jason Gramling, presented by Chief Hudson. You want to stand here in the center?
Good evening. This is Ashley Johnson. Jason Gramley. Officer Johnson graduated from the Eastern Missouri Police Academy recently. She recently relocated from another state with her husband and 3 children. When she's not patrolling, she's enjoying training dogs and was previously employed as a service dog trainer for disabled vets and first responders. Officer Johnson is excited to be working here at the Hazelwood Police Department. We're excited to have her here, and she's hard to pull information out of. So, well. Jason Gramling is equally hard to pull information out of. He was in the military for 20 years, retired as an Army captain. He's been involved in traditional martial arts for over 30 years, and will be helping us as a defensive tactics instructor. He grew up in Nashua, New Hampshire. Did I say that correctly? Okay. Nashua, New Hampshire. Never been there. Now lives in St. Charles. Jason won the Defensive Tactics Award with the St. Louis County Municipal Police Academy and is also excited to be working with the Hazelwood Police Department. We're happy he's here.
We're good. Thank you.
Do you have a family?
I do.
Nope.
You want to have, come up for a picture?
Welcome.
Now you got some cheese for the camera. Look at the camera.
Good, awesome. Thank you. Welcome. Yep.
Next, we have the Distinguished Service Citation of Value, Austin Bishop. Is that our
Austin,
chief?
come up. Stand up here. Tonight, it is with great honor that I present Austin Bishop for the Distinguished Service Citation in recognition of his extraordinary heroism and selflessness during a house fire on October 12th, 2024. In the face of immediate danger and without hesitation, Officer Bishop entered a burning residence not once, but twice, driven by the urgent need to rescue both a human occupant and a pet trapped inside. Fully aware of the personal risk involved, Officer Bishop demonstrated unparalleled courage, prioritizing the safety of others above his own. The intense heat, smoke, and potential for injury did not deter Officer Bishop from his mission. His swift and decisive actions ensured that every effort was made to protect lives, embodying the highest standards of bravery and commit to the well-being of the community. Officer Bishop's heroism serves as a powerful reminder of the dedication and courage exhibited by law enforcement officers who put themselves in harm's way to safeguard others. His actions during this critical incident reflected not only his extraordinary bravery, but also his unwavering commitment to duty and to the values of public service. It is with profound respect and admiration that I recommend Officer Bishop for this prestigious citation. His bravery and selflessness deserve to be recognized and celebrated. And Officer Bishop, also, I will announce to you that you're the winner of the third quarter of our department's Employee of the Quarter award for your actions, not only on that event, but also throughout the quarter. So congratulations as well.
Thank you.
So we'll, yeah, can I get them all up here?
All the officers.
All of the officers.
Every single one.
The chief. That's no family safe.
No, he doesn't have to say it here.
Watch the cord. Great.
Oh, everybody.
No. Bring the dog. Now,
We're too long.
bringing the dog.
Yes. I need basically the heels over to kind of.
Skip chin, short people in front.
Yeah.
Ashley.
Johnson. Grambling. Well, no, get in front. Come on. No. Not really fast. Hurry up. You got it? All right. Thank you. Congrats, buddy.
No, you're free to go.
Next, Chief Hudnick has an award of Purple Heart, Officer Steve Andersky.
Andreski.
Just
On the act, sir. Been here long enough. I'm also honored to present Officer Steve Andreski with the Purple Heart in recognition of his injuries sustained in the line of duty during a traffic crash on October 2023. This incident resulted in significant injuries to Officer Andreski's head, lower back, and knee, rendering unable to return to work since the event. Officer Andreski's dedication to duty exemplifies the selfless commitment and courage required of all law enforcement officers. On the day of the crash, he was actively fulfilling his responsibilities, put himself at risk to serve and protect the community. The injuries sustained are a testament to the dangers faced daily by those in uniform, and Officer Andreski's sacrifice deserves to be recognized. Purple Heart is awarded to those who endure personal harm in the course of their service. Officer Andreski's situation is a poignant example of the physical toll that such dedication can entail. Despite the challenges posed by recovery, the bravery and commitment to public safety remain an inspiration to all of us in the community alike. It is with deep respect and gratitude that I present Officer Andreski with this distinguished honor. His service and sacrifice serve as a reminder of the risks faced by law enforcement in their mission to protect and serve. Yes. Yeah.
Congratulations.
Walker used to be up front.
Yeah.
Right here.
Very good. Do I got time?
If you want.
To do, to go, and I'll be back.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
To go and be back.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Are we done? Okay. Adjust this camera.
Next, we'll have citizens' comments and discussion, which will be heard at this time and limited to a total of 15 minutes, which may be increased by discretion of the chair by a motion approved by the majority of the council members present at the meeting. Is there anybody from the audience who would like to come up and speak at this time? Anybody from the audience would like to come up and speak under citizens' comments? Yes, sir.
Victor Rose, where do I live? You look great. I just want to thank everyone for getting the roads clear in the storm. I'm now working down in St. Louis and it's not good down there. So thanks to all the public works.
Thank you.
Is there anybody else under citizens' comments? Anybody else under citizens' comments? Hearing none, I'll call that portion of the meeting be closed. There are no public hearings. We'll move forward to unfinished business. Is there any unfinished business from the city council?
I'm here. Excuse, can we back up for,
Citizens' comments, if you want, you can come on up and ask.
Good evening, everyone. We're members of the Hazelwood Community Enrichment Commission. And this Sunday, the 19th, we're inviting everyone to come to the tribute to the late Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And I know that there are playoffs on Sunday. Take them. And come join us. It starts at 7. And we'll be at the community center on Dunn Road. And we hope that you will be able to come. It's going to be cold, but no SNOW. So we hope you all will be able to join us. Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you. Was there any unfinished business in front of the city council to discuss? Hearing none, we'll move on to mayor and council reports. We've got the council retreat. I believe you got a contract with my email the other day. This is similar to the counselor that reviewed us a while back. They want to meet with everybody individually starting next week and approve. So if there's any discussion, if not, this would take a motion to approve so that we could sign this and move forward with setting those dates individually and the setting a complete council retreat date.
I think we need to put this on hold. It's something I don't think we need to put the money into right now. I think we spent enough on this retreat. And I think it's something that, I think it's just something the council needs to do together and not bring somebody from the outside in. I think it's money was not well spent from my feelings. So looking at what they're wanting now, we can do something else with that money. I don't know how everybody else feels, but that's the way I feel right now. I don't think we need to do this retreat with someone else. I think we just need to get together and work together as a group.
I agree with you, Lisa.
Is there any other discussion?
There's an additional cost. This isn't what we've already spent, right?
No, it's additional. Is there any other discussion?
Did it say what was spent before on there?
I don't believe it did. No, it didn't say anything about what we spent in the past. We first joined the group of counseling services. The first meeting was with Ms. Debbie Thompson, counselor, to do investigation to see, I believe she came back with us a report, just to see, make some recommendations on how to operate more efficiently as a council member. We then had a meeting set up for the 5 behaviors classes, to where we learned how to work together as a group, get to know each other individually. But at that time, we had a little bit of conflict amongst the council members. That meeting was canceled. And we're at a point now to where we're at a conflict resolution counselor to sit down and talk about all the problems that the city council has amongst ourselves and the issues that have arisen in the past year. And that's where we're at. If we're gonna dump this now, We should have never got involved in it in the beginning. So this is what we committed to when we had problems last year to the public, that we would take concrete steps to resolve some of the problems amongst the council members and issues that we've had amongst ourselves. If this isn't something we want to move forward with, this was the time to discuss it, so.
Well, I completely support us coming together as a group and sitting down and talking. I supported the idea for the retreat when it was initially recommended by you, Mayor, back in, what was that, May 15th, at our May 15th meeting. We've talked about it a lot. And just, Councilman, so you know, I asked how much we've to date spent with AAIM, and it is $10,516. We were charged for the cancellation of our August retreat that did not happen. And we were also charged twice by Debbie for her services. I think that it's a misuse of taxpayer money if we continue to put forth more effort to this when this group as a whole has yet to come together as a whole and talk. Debbie did meet with each one of us individually to talk about some of our conflicts. And then she presented a oral report of her recommendation for like 20 minutes. And we have yet to act on any of that, even come together as a group and talk about what was said. I think we would better serve our residents if we just, the 9 of us, got together and talked. It's something that we lack deeply on this council outside of this room. In these meetings, we never speak with each other. And I think that maybe coming together and just hashing out whatever differences we have, we're all adults, and I believe we could probably handle this on our own. At least that would be the responsible thing to do, instead of entering into another $8,000 contract with taxpayer money. And that's just my opinion.
Well said, Jen.
I agree, Jen.
Yes.
Basically, we don't have to pay a whole bunch of extra money to do what we can do amongst ourselves.
Right.
Yes.
I mean, we've already
We're
spent,
past the point of needing it like we did
Before.
last year.
right, and I think we've already had one-on-one discussion, and that didn't do anything. And so the proposal here is to spend another $8,000 to meet individually. I say, let's just get around a table and talk. I mean, I feel like we all can do that. We just have never been given the opportunity and the willingness to do that.
Yeah, because what we did with the one-on-one with her, honestly, nothing was really done after it, like
Exactly, there was
Jen
no
was
follow-up.
saying. We didn't get together as a group to follow up on what she brought to us. So to me, that was a waste of money. If we would have gotten together 2-3 days after we all met with her to sit down and discuss what she brought to our table, I would have been okay with that. Maybe I would have been okay with spending another $8,000 to meet with her, maybe. But it is time that us as a group needs to sit down as adults in the new year to work things out without bringing someone else into this to talk to us.
That costs more money.
And if we have to, we have a human resource person that we can talk to if we can use her. But I don't think we need to pay for someone else to come in like that.
I don't think that's I discuss and meet with council here, but I don't think human resources that works for us would be efficient enough to work out our problems with the city council.
And
That's
that's
an
fine.
employee.
That's
I'm
right.
not saying that, I'm just saying the 9 of us, we're adults.
Yeah.
I think that we could get together and
I don't have a dog in this hunt. Leave me out of it.
And
But I
we're
wonder-
not bringing you in, Kevin.
Huh?
We're talking about the council.
I understand, but I just think I need to remind you that meetings you held like that are not private. that they have to be posted and the public has to be able to attend, which may make it difficult for you all to have a candid conversation. The structure that was being proposed has been recognized and accepted by the court when there are safeguards against the discussion of the public's business. And someone to see to it that you don't get into public business and strictly talk about interpersonal skills. I think I've shared that with you in the past, that case law coming out of Kansas City. So I don't care how you choose to sort out among yourself, but I will caution you, you cannot do that unless you give notice to the public and the public gets to come and watch.
So just for clarification, we can't have a council retreat, just the 9 of us, no staff, no public,
Yeah.
and not talk about city business, just talk about our interpersonal relationships.
The problem is that you're convening as the council.
Okay,
And unless there are safeguards against the discussion of the public's business, it's going to be presumed that that's a public meeting.
okay, and what are those safeguards?
The ones that have been recognized by the court is someone running it to stick to things that are not the public's business.
Can that be one of us?
Yeah, could it be a?
No, sir.
No,
So you're saying if we bring, what's her name, Deborah or whoever, if we bring her in to sit with the 9 of us, we don't need to have the public in here. Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying that the Missouri courts recognized and approved a circumstance when the school board of Kansas City went down to the Lake of the Ozarks, brought a professional consultant and brought others who were there to call balls and strikes, so they never discussed any public business. And in that circumstance, the court held that that meeting was not about the public's business and therefore did not come under the Sunshine Law. I'm suggesting to you, I don't care what you do, but don't come back to me if you do it in a way that makes you in violation of the Sunshine Law. So I don't have a dog in this at all, but please be careful that you don't inadvertently step on a landmine and you cause a problem. The courts have recognized a structured circumstance of public body members talking about things that are not the public's business. Anytime you get on thinner ice, you run the risk of falling through. That's all I'm saying.
We've had a works, what is it called, a retreat before. That,
Well, we got to know each other.
yeah, we
It was
didn't,
more of an introduction of new council members.
okay, but what difference does it make if it's a retreat?
It was an open meeting too. It wasn't a closed meeting.
But no one showed up. It was just us, right?
It was an open meeting, just like all of our work sessions are.
So I don't understand. Okay, I'm really confused right now.
It means the meeting was held in accordance with the Sunshine Law. You posted notice and let the public attend. Nobody chose to attend, that's fine. But I think you're not private citizens. You don't get the chance to just gather with your workmates and talk about whatever you want to talk. You lost that when you got sworn into office.
So, okay, I'm gonna go back to this again. If we bring this counselor or whoever she's whatever you wanna call her, if we bring her in, isn't that what we're talking about, is our business?
She's a neutral third party. She is making sure you don't discuss.
Yeah, we're not gonna discuss city business.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We're
it's
just
our
gonna
business,
discuss-
so
I think Kevin's made it clear that we need a consultant with us if we're gonna meet in private. If not, it'll be an open meeting.
If you want to meet in public and do it there, that's okay, as long as you don't mind the public showing up and they don't have the right to speak. Despite what some may think. But they don't have the right to participate in the meeting, but you can't keep them out. And that sometimes makes some of the conversations you may want to have awkward or difficult.
could we have a closed session to discuss personnel matters? And then that.
You're
would be
talking
us.
about hiring, firing, disciplining, or promoting identifiable employees where the
Okay.
merit or performance of the employees is the subject of discussion.
Thank you.
And I'm not trying to change the course. I just want to advise you that you have to be very careful Which,
I get it. So either we vote to spend another $8,000
no, ma'am,
or
you can have
or
any,
we don't work out our problems.
You
Is
could-
basically what you're saying.
what I've said is there is a precedent which is safe, which is a safe harbor. And that is someone to assist you in conducting a meeting that is not dealing with the public's business. Now, to the extent that person is not trained to facilitate conversations and developing good interpersonal skills and interpersonal working relationships, it becomes more dicey. When it is structured with someone with that skill set, it enhances your ability to say that this is not subject to the sunshine.
Thank you.
Now, it could be anybody. It could be the city clerk who sits up there and says, no, shut up.
So we
I
just
don't
need a
think she'd
referee.
like to do that. but
So what are the qualifications of that person?
Whatever you all deem to be suitable to keep you on task. And obviously, the
any of
more,
us here
the more objective
You said it can't be the
qualifications
council.
you can point to for that role, the better your defense against someone who claims you violated the sunshine.
What about you?
I'm busy that day. The Kansas City School Board Attorney attended the conference at the lake in part for that purpose. I am not anxious to perform that service, but you all run the show and I serve at your pleasure.
Thank you.
So I'm not trying to make you decide to take this person or sign the contract. I just want you to be sensitive to the limited alternatives you may have and how to best navigate the constraints which being a public body member put on. And no one asked me, I just butted in with my opinion, so I apologize. I have.
No, we
affected you.
appreciate the clarification.
I'll start the vote. And I'm against it.
You want to restate that? You're gonna.
What, a motion, how should it be? A motion?
Ordinarily, a motion is stated in the affirmative. So if the question is, shall we enter into the contract with whoever this is for whatever that is, then I think the motion should be to enter into the contract. Yes, you favor entering into the contract. No, if the contract fails to get a majority, then the motion fails and there is no authority to enter into the contract.
You got that? Okay,
Your motion is to approve the contract. Affirm what's in front of us.
She has to say it and then we go around roll call, right?
Yeah, when she says it, then it's second.
Or we can take no action at all.
Yeah, we're just not sure what to do.
I haven't had a second yet. The motion to affirm and approve the contract as presented. Is there a second? Is there up for discussion or questions?
Second motion dies.
There's no second, so the motion dies to approve the contract.
And no action needed then. What's up? You may inquire whether the council wishes to take any other action. If not,
What is the discussion the council wants to have on the future of the counseling business or no future? Any discussion? And we'll move on to the next item on the agenda. Board and commission appointments. I have a few here. I've got Karen Romberg with the Green Committee, Nick Ray with the Green Committee, Courtney Ray with the Green Committee, and Lisa Simpson with Neighborhood Watch Commission. Is there any other nominations that would like to be forwarded to me for the approval? Any other nominations? Hearing none, is there a motion to approve the four members that I just?
I'll second.
There's been a motion. Is there a second? Second. There's been a motion and a second. All those in favor, please say aye. Those opposed? The ayes have it. Under mayor and council reports, I'd like to state that we did get many phone calls from residents, over snow removal. They were all good in a way. I think our police and fire, and most importantly, keeping the streets clean out there is our public works, guys and girls. And they, did a wonderful job. They gotten a call from former state representative Paula Brown just the other day, applauding us on how great we did with, along with many other residents that have caught me off guard near, around the neighborhood. So I think, thanks to our city staff and maintenance crews out there on the streets, did such a great job.
Like to add on to that,
Yes.
in the travels that I did around our neighboring municipalities, we far exceeded our neighbors.
Thank you, Robert.
And I would like to give one shout out to somebody real fast. Nikki, you did a wonderful job on Facebook with the negativity that we had on Facebook. You did a great job.
My job, but thank you. He did that.
And then before we move on, Mayor, I do have a question to ask under council reports. If I'm so recognized.
Go ahead.
Okay. I was driving back from the health campus at Berkeley and saw that James McDonald is still closed. Do we have an update as to what that timeline looks like?
I do not, but I will get that for you, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Anything else under mayor and council reports? Hearing none, we have city manager's report. We've got consideration of amending chapter 340 miscellaneous driving rules relative to the use of electronic communication devices while driving. Mr. Hudnick.
Mayor, council, citizens. Name is Jim Hudnick, Chief of Police. It's important that I read this to you, so bear with me. Missouri General Assembly, through the passage of section 304-822, has preempted local jurisdictions from enacting regulations concerning the use of electronic communication devices by motor vehicle operators that are not in strict conformity with state law. City of Hazelwood aims to ensure compliance with the state law by updating our local ordinances accordingly. To add two new sections, chapter 340, article 3 of the Code of Ordinances amended to include section 340.240, use of electronic communication devices while driving. The prohibited actions, operators of motor vehicles, both commercial and non-commercial, are restricted from physically holding or supporting electronic communication devices. Prohibits activities such as texting, making phone calls without hands-free functionality, entering data and video streaming while driving. Special provisions restrict school bus operators from using devices while the bus is in motion or during passenger loading or unloading. There is some exemptions to include law enforcement officers, operators responding to emergencies, and drivers using hands-free technology. Specific allowances are made for navigation, audio playback, and communication with dispatchers under certain conditions. Penalties for violations, there's a graduated fine ranging from $150 to $500 based on the frequency of the violations within a 24-month period. Enhanced penalties apply for violations in work zones and school zones. Violations by commercial vehicle operators are categorized as serious traffic violations. This is a secondary offense, which means officers must inform operators of the right to decline a search. Sorry, two different things. Yeah, I'll get to that at the end. Officers must inform operators of the right to decline a search of the device during the stop. Warrants for device searches are limited to cases involving serious injury or death. Violations cannot serve as a probable cause for other offenses. Individuals cannot be stopped solely for the violation of this section. That would be a secondary thing. There must be another stop somebody for speeding and they have their phone in their hand. That's where this kicks in. The ordinance ensures that Hazelwood's local regulations are consistent with state law. allowing our police department and support to enforce these rules effectively. It aims to enhance road safety by reducing distracted driving incidents while respecting individual rights and state reporting requirements. Thus, we seek council's approval to put this on for first reading.
Move to approve.
Second. There's been a motion and a second for approval. Is there any discussion or questions for council?
No, sorry about that.
I'll call for the motion. Chief. Is there any discussion amongst council members? Any questions? So there has been a motion and a second. All those in favor for putting this on for first reading, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? The ayes have it. Next, we have consideration of amending chapter 215 relative to unlawful discharge of a firearm.
Mr. Mayor and City Council, in your packet, there was a proposal to amend chapter 215 of the Code of Ordinances to include the addition of the newly enacted Blair Laws provision. The ordinance now explicitly prohibits the reckless discharge of a firearm with or in or into the city limits. This aligns the city's regulations with Missouri State Law, Section 571031, RSMO 2024 to enhance public safety. Repeal of special permits for firearm discharge, the previous language. So Blair's Law is after Blair Shannon Lane of Kansas City. She was 11, and it was the 4th of July, 14 years ago. And there was an apartment complex nearby, and they were shooting off handguns into the air. And one of the rounds struck Blair in the neck and killed her. So that's why it's called Blair's Law. Her brother has been fighting now for 14 years and just was, the state has picked up on. In our research for Blair's Law and with the help of Mr. O'Keefe in his office to look for any kind of conflict, we did find some things that we would like to repeal. Repeal of special permits for firearm discharge. Previous language allowing the city manager to issue permits for firearm discharge is repealed. This provision included permit application processes, safety determinations, and revocation procedures, which are now removed. And the establishment of exceptions and penalties. Specific exemptions are provided for justified uses of firearm, including shooting ranges, hunting, wildlife control, and lawful defense scenarios. Violations are subject to penalties as outlined in section 100-130 of the municipal code. These changes modernize the ordinance, remove outdated language, and emphasize safety in line with state law. Staff seeks council approval to put on for first reading. I'd like to add that the repeal was some language dating back to 1972, where they used to have meat shoots along Lindbergh, and I think a few other places I think was grouped in this special permitting. So I'd like to repeal that. And if anybody has any questions.
I do have one question for you. One of the exemptions is more than 1/4 mile from any occupied structure. Do we even have that in the city of Hazelwood?
Give me that 1/4 mile. What's your, you mean like maybe in the bottoms lands, like
Right.
to north,
Is that the only area of Hazelwood that you can think of where that?
that we might allow it with the permit? I mean, I think that's where we come in and we look at the distance factor before we would grant that permission.
Okay.
And I think most of the hunting down there is done across the roadway towards the river slough anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
And I believe that's strictly limited, isn't that limited to archery? I know it is at St. Stanislaus property.
Oh, I don't believe so, because I think, some of the people in the bottom there is still firearms down there.
Okay.
Teton property, I believe. If I got that correct, my history goes.
Any other discussion for council members? Any other questions? Chief, is that the end of your presentation?
Seeks, first approval to put on first reading, or approval for a first reading.
I'd like to make a motion, put on first reading. Second.
There's been a motion and a second. If there's no further discussion, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? The ayes have it. Next,
I'm sorry.
next we had, item 12C, rental registration program update.
Yeah, if you mind, I want to steal the the limelight of the chief or his team, which they richly deserve. But if you remember, I submitted a 90-day plan, and part of that 90-day plan was on a quarterly basis, having a director come up and speak to you about an issue or a concern that we thought that you might be interested in. More times than not, they come to you, asking for approval of an expense and the like, and these people do a whole lot more than that. I think this is a better way for transparency on us, and also to give better education for you for what we're doing. And so with that, the chief was more than willing to step forward first with the rental housing program. And I think they've done a lot of good work. I wanted to showcase that.
I guess it was about 7 months ago now, that we embarked on this journey for rental housing program. Began with the research of how many potential rental properties were in the city's limits. And I believe that date at the time, there was like 48% of the residents were rental properties of some sort, which basically makes the town sort of a rental town for, lack of other things. But within that came with the challenges of a lot of rental properties, and particularly with out of city or out of state ownership and their lack of complying with our regulations and rules, and how do we go about doing this? So we went down and we conducted some research and found some stuff nationwide and locally, things that have been adjudicated in court and found okay to carry on, some programs that we have taken some information from and templated and came up with our program. So if everything was in a perfect world, but it's not. Well, one of the big components was our Civic Plus, where we would be able to enter the information into finance and then code enforcement, and I think with the software, it'd be a holistic approach. So Civic Plus, with this new software application, we ended up being a month behind on implementation with Civic Plus, the organization that's doing this, just by the simple fact that when we put in our request to do these enhancements, we were put in the queue. So we got off to a slower start, and we thought we could do July 1st. We didn't. It was sometime in August, I think, is when we finally got around to it. Finance is completed. Next was rental housing group, which is completed, but it also attaches itself to the code enforcement module, which is still now work in progress. And I regret to say that maybe 2 months from now. But that being said, we're still able to proceed forward with the rental housing program. So we've got employees in place. There's some things that we got to work out. Some things that come into light due to the reorganization that we're going to fix to the city attorney's office, that we have to clear up some conflicts, which we knew was going to happen once we finally got into this. But the program's up and running. We had our first training on this past Monday. I think we had 37 rental property owners, for lack of better words, with represents how many? 150 plus rental homes in town, right? And the first rental registry permit was issued. So Civic Plus is working. So we're moving down that line. There's more additional trainings coming up. There's a lot of public education that we got to do. The rental housing group will also deal with problem properties that are not rental properties. We'll also deal with commercial. We're still working some things out with the hotels, which they're already involved in the inspections on that. So I think we're all proceeding in the right direction with regards to how the program's going. There has been some hiccups, but we're working our way slowly through those. So by by July 1st, these bugs should be worked out, if not sooner. But we're operating as normal. Things are working. The permitting is working. It's online. There's some new things that are going to come on board to make it easier for out of town people that are compelled to have somebody local to respond to things. Right. So hopefully the stuff that we've had problems in the city in the past with regard to code violations runs a little bit smoother on gaining compliance from rental properties and any other property in town. And I'm open to questions. There's a lot, but There's a 260-page manual that was developed. Still working on some forms that we got to finish up on. There's some processes that we got to work through the weeds to find out who does what and when and how that's gonna go, but that, it ain't gonna take too long.
How are you handling the email that we got the other day about you can't do this, it's against my this, that, and the other? Like, how do you address those? Because it was clear that the person owns properties, is renting them and didn't want to comply with this.
I think that person actually came to the training, did he not? Yes. Okay, so I think that particular gentleman lived in St. Charles. I think he owns property in town. Explained to him about the process that yes, we can. It has been vetted through litigation of, in court. You got to come in compliance. We want you to come in compliance. We're going to provide the training for you. The fee is not a hardship. I think he talked about search warrants and you don't have any search warrants to come.
Yeah.
We address all that issues. And I think, like I said, I think it stopped. And I think he went to the training. I think he has a better understanding there. Part of our trainer is an attorney from Mr. O'Keefe's office that came in. It's important that we have those people on board to answer any questions of the property owners. And it doesn't come from us, right? It's a bona fide that it came from the attorney's office who can answer all those questions and alleviate any concerns they have. So yes, there's been a few of those. There's a waiver process, so we're working our way through that. We're trying to figure out some invoicing on a person that might have 50 to 100 places and how we're gonna do that in a quick fashion, so. That's how we're going about doing it.
Thank you.
Maybe, come and see, listen to what we got. We'll send you got all the information,
Yeah.
you can see what it is. Right?
How does,
Yeah.
are you finished?
Yeah.
How does it work with tenants that have places all over the place? Do you just take care of the ones? I mean, do you work with the other? Like, say they have 2 or 3 homes here, then maybe in Florissant or Berkeley or,
Oh, they have their own programs.
okay, so you don't really
Right.
kind of,
No, and we found from speaking to a number of them who have properties elsewhere, this was nothing new. And actually, I think one was surprised that we had not implemented anything yet because I guess quite a number of places have a program. So they understand, they just send us the information. I think we have a component in there that if you already have a permit from, say, Berkeley, right? We will look at your information and honor that. So that would show that they went through the same training.
And will there be at some point when you get more people on board and you have more training, some sort of reporting, like in my ward, for instance? There's a lot, well, in my neighborhood of 7, there's a lot.
Yeah,
of
is it the
rentals.
council's wishes to have a monthly on rental properties? Would you just want the number that are in your wards? What are the rental properties in your wards, the total number?
Issues.
Okay,
I
certainly.
mean,
I think it was on thing to do it much. And I think I talked to the city clerk one time about, you get the liquor license report.
yeah.
Maybe
that's-
something
yeah.
similar along like that, to be a monthly report that would come out to you.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna compare it to, yeah.
Or at least quarterly. Whatever.
Yeah, whatever your pleasure is. If you want to do monthly, you want to do quarterly, we can do both.
I mean, I think to start out,
Just to see, sure.
yeah.
Sure.
I would appreciate that, yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
You hear that, Lieutenant Crouch? All right. Oh, he'll be doing it.
Any other questions for the rental registration program updates? Any other questions? Any other questions from council members? Hearing none? Thank
Oh,
you.
can I have the ability to say some more?
Yeah.
Just a quick update. I think the last time we talked about speed cushions and things, right? That's still going forward. There's been, I don't know what has happened, but, I guess the days of purchasing LED lights for signage and things takes 2, 3, 4 months. So if you have any constituents want to know where that's going, that's one of our hangups, getting materials in to fix the Fifi project. And we've reached out and we're speaking with the people from Mingo. I think the cold weather and the holidays and everything, but we still plan on doing tests on speed cushions on Flamingo. Just to give you a quick on that one, just an update if somebody asked about how Fifi was going.
So Fifi and Flamingo are the two that you're targeting right now.
Fifi is the one, because of the stop sign is hidden by the telephone pole. It's obscured, so we're gonna get some flashing lights to address the issue of the stop sign and a warning sign a little bit further down. I drove down there today and there's this big gigantic branch that's hanging down over by Chapel Ridge. I want that lopped off. If you're coming, you can't see that stop sign. So, there's that. And, Flamingo is the one that's taken a while to get the cushions in. And so we got time. The weather's kind of bogged down the speeders. And I think there's, I haven't had any additional, I think we had one and we addressed that one. So I think it was a school bus and we addressed that with the superintendent. So I think we're good on that one as of right now.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sure.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. Next, we have item 12D, reserve at Winding Creek Apartment Complex by Ms. Nikki Miller.
We also have the ownership group of Winding Creek here also, Charlie Hadar.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. I'm here tonight to talk to you about a proposed buyout project for the apartment complex on Normandy Court. They were all severely damaged in the July 22 flood and have remained vacant since then. So for the past several months, staff has been working on this buyout application. This was all led by Councilwoman Matlock, who has been very supportive of this in an effort to get the property into a non-vacant state to help flooding efforts in the area, all of that. We have also been working with the owners of the property and their sub-consultant for it. So we are applying for a yearly funding opportunity through FEMA called Swift Current. It will, if awarded, we will demolish the 19 buildings there. There are 17 apartment complex buildings and 2 like an office and a gym building. The land will be restored to natural land, parking lots will be demolished too, and it will remain green space in perpetuity. I will say 5 of the buildings are directly next to the creek. They are in the floodway at the highest risk of flooding. The entire property is in the floodplain and at risk for flooding and has flooded many, many, many times over the years since it was built in 1970. Once the project is complete, like I said, it will be open space. The city would be responsible for maintenance of that. It's about 19 acres of land. We do propose to leave at this time the main roadway, Normandy Court, and the cul-de-sac for access for maintenance. That is actually not platted on the subdivision for the apartment complex anyway. Assuming maintenance of the property, we would be looking at probably needing an additional 16-foot mower and maintenance staff worker for that work. We also have another buyout project with the 11 single-family residential homes that they could maintain as well. Or we have looked at contracting this out based on our current abatement contract. I estimated at a cost of about 40 grand a mowing season for maintenance of those almost 19 acres. This project is a 25% local match, 75% federal share. The project totals a little over 12 million, which would make the local match a little over 3 million. The property owners will be putting up the local match for the project. So the city will not be funding any amount for that local match. I would still be involved for management of the project. I would have to do FEMA's documents, monthly reports, project closeout. We are still determining, bid documents to bid out demolition, some finer points like that. And we do have the owner's representative here tonight, Mr. Charlie Attar. And I believe we have the sub-consultant on Zoom as well. So do you guys have any questions for me on this? It is a big project. I'm sure, ask any questions that you guys may have.
The question I have is the total for the project.
Mhm.
How was that number arrived at? Was there an appraisal done on the property?
Yes, so they actually have a recent appraisal that was done of the property. That was part of something that got done after the flood event in July in 2022, for some other FEMA regulations. So a recent appraisal for that, the cost of demolition, title paperwork, because the city would then own all of that property, any hazardous material removal, like asbestos abatement and everything. All of that put together in one big total.
The other thing that this is not a quick project. Talking to the SEMA and FEMA people, didn't they say something like, we won't get FEMA approval if we get approval like in a year, it'll be at least a year?
If you all approve the application tonight, then it will be forwarded to SEMA. They will take about a couple weeks to a month for review, and then it will be forwarded to FEMA on. Based on my other buyout project, it will be at least a year before FEMA makes their decision on whether that is ordered or not.
So again,
And then given 2 years for the project to be completed, which we don't anticipate it to take that long because it is a vacant property, but.
I didn't want the council to know that in case that somebody in July says, what's happening?
Yes.
No, it's in the hands of the federal government.
So the federal share or whatever dollars that are being used to demolish the property, is that coming from the city and then we have to submit for reimbursement, or how is that gonna work?
Yes, so that is one of the finer things that we have to work out on whether the property owner pays us, since the project is run through us. And then we pay that out and submit for reimbursement, so one of those fine two things, but we will not be, putting up any of our money up front. It will be property owners for that local match there.
Okay.
Which is pretty unusual. Usually the local match comes from a municipality running the program.
Any other questions for Nikki?
Thank you for your time.
Oh, thank you, Nikki.
Yep. Do you guys have any questions for the property owner? Would you like him to come up at all?
Would you like to come up and? say
Yep, you
something?
want to introduce yourself? Charlie?
Thank you to the council, to Mr. Mayor. Thank you for your time. David, it's good to finally meet you in person. We're gonna have to shake hands prior to me heading out in
But
here.
we're still seeing each other chest up.
Yes, definitely, right? We're gonna have to keep it that way. So I represent the current ownership group of this property. As you all know, the property flooded back in July of 22. Prior to purchase, the property actually flooded at least 2 times, recorded by FEMA. Ownership was not made aware of any of this at the time of purchase. They were aware that it was in the flood zone, in the floodplain, as is typical with various properties. After the flood, the intention was actually to rebuild. It became just to navigate FEMA and the federal government, and Uncle Sam took a bit of time. When it got to a point that there was finally the potential to rebuild, the property flooded again. So at that point, we retained Mr. Larry Bailey, who's on. He's a former chief at FEMA. He's very familiar with the process, and he brought up the FEMA buyout options along with Nikki. Larry and Nikki have been really working hand in hand for probably months at this point. On the project, putting together the documents, the approvals. And the issue with the ownership problem at that point was there's a loan on the property, there's debt, there's a mortgage to pay, and the property really had no value anymore. At this point, ownership has paid off the mortgage as of this past Monday, actually, in preparation for this FEMA buyout. So right now there is no debt on it. So once the FEMA approvals are all stamped up, there really should not be too much time to wait. We retained a firm out of DC, Baker Donaldson. Baker Donaldson is actually owned by the former chief counsel of FEMA, his name is Ernie Abbott, right? Ernie
Yes.
Abbott?
Yes.
And he is really brought on board to help navigate those complexities and the logistics of ownership fronting that local share in order that there's no taxpayer money going into this, in order that it's really all on the table. There's probably about a $7 to $10 million loss, which ownership is taking on this. They're not looking to rebuild the property just to have a problem with, to find the next guy to buy it and be stuck with it, as the current group is. Really, they, for lack of better terms, we're that sucker who bought the property from someone. And really, the best interest of the community is to move forward with this buyout. If it was up to, I think, all of us here, we would really just tell the federal government to waive that local share and we would all be good to go. Federal government, they don't allow that. There has to be that local share. So therefore, we brought on this attorney in order to navigate that complexity, as the ownership group will be paying for the demolition, for the restoration. The property will be handed back to the city, totally brought back to soil the way Mother Nature created it. One problem which we do have, I know Councilman Matlock, we've spoken before, is the current security at the property. It's just hard. It's a big property. There's 20 acres. There's a lot of frontage of fence behind other complexes, and it's somewhat of a game of cat and mouse. We do ask to be patient. We are bringing really forward all the different ideas. We did retain a consultant who put together a plan. We were talking about submitting it, whether that requires a variance based on some of the fencing logistics, while we really have this waiting game for FEMA. So that is something which we are working on. We're in constant communication with the police department, with Captain Egan. At this point, we're texting buddy sometimes. He's not here, no? We're trying to do really what's best over here to get this property really out of the hands of really any other landlord also who would attempt to buy it and try to bring it back on apartments. Otherwise, it's just gonna be a repeat thing every couple of years. So to conclude, we do look forward to this sale going through. We're doing everything really in our power to make it go through. We're trying to keep the property secure. We are now going to be boarding up all the first floor windows and doors. At first, we tried to only board up whatever was broken. Whatever was open, we tried to get that sealed. And then it seemed like there was a game of baseball with some rocks at the property going for the windows. So now we have a whole nother batch. So we're going to be in the interest really of security, nothing to do with saving the buildings. We even once at one point, we put up security cameras, and you actually see the video in the security camera of a fellow walking on the property with a ladder and a mask, and he climbs up and takes down the whole camera. So we're trying to get better with that fencing, get something a bit stronger and a bit more rigid, but hopefully with your approval tonight, we will be able to take this to that next step, send it to SEMA. SEMA is excited about it. SEMA was the one who's been reaching out to us. We're working with Heidi Carver and with Nancy Abel at SEMA. They've been really great with whatever paperwork, helping us with the applications, whatever documents are needed, whatever other federal agencies and state agencies and documents. You all know, working for the city, how much federal documents and everything has to be put together. So really, I think all powers that be over here are working to get this done, to get this closed, and hopefully we can get the city council's their motion tonight to approve to move this to the next level. I think we'll all be in a great position. So thank you.
Will you have that plan to us before our next meeting? Zoom meeting?
For the security plan?
Mhm.
Yes,
Thank you.
thank you.
And no one lives there now, right?
Completely vacant.
Vacant, yeah.
Yes.
Thank you.
Power has been turned off. Most of the utilities have been taken out by the providers at this point. All right, thank you.
I do have how far up Normandy Court is the property we're talking about? We're not talking about the Islamic Center or
No, right behind the mosque and the car
behind that,
wash.
so those properties, okay,
Correct, it's right behind that entire complex over there.
thank you.
Thank you.
That's why I had the
Yes.
main concern
Yeah.
of keeping it locked up,
Right,
and boarded up. So
It currently has a fence across the road right there, right behind the Carcraft and the
Yeah.
Islamic Center.
there any other questions from council?
As long as I'm aware of what's going on.
Any other discussion?
Yes, they are aware. What's going on. We've
It's
been in
great to
contact
make
with
sure
them.
we engage with our community leaders, so.
They did actually reach out to us. They had intentions actually to buy it. They wanted to know what could be done, if they could turn it back into a, apartment, some sort of, community over there. We had that discussion with them, explained to them what the problems were, told them that they could basically only turn it into a park. Maybe they could build a new structure at the forefront of the property. There really wasn't much, and got to a point where they even are motivated to this. They're excited to have that beautiful park behind them.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. If there's no further questions or discussion, this will be a motion to approve the application process.
Move to approve.
I'll second it.
A motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? The ayes have it. Anything else under city manager's report?
Yes, sir, if I may, I'll try to make this short.
Thanks, Nikki.
Again, you saw the beginnings of the quarterly reports sorry, oh, thank you. Yes, I apologize. Thank you. for doing
I was trying to be discreet.
that. You-
I just heard one more point, if you don't mind. David, we gotta get that handshake. All these months, we've been going back and forth. It's a pleasure finally meeting you in person.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you, everybody. You
Thank
can
you.
that lot. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
Watch the cord, yeah.
Gotta get him off of there now. Sorry. Yeah. Yeah, there you go. I'll just have to ask you to go ahead and leave now. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Apologies. There we go. Thank you. Okay. Again, you saw the beginning of the 90-day plan. You're with the directors. Next meeting will be Dave Tuberty giving you the beginning stages of the budget, so you can be prepared for that. And then just recently, I sent you an end of the year report from the directors for more transparency and communication with you. Please know that whether it's the 90-day report or the end of the year report, your comments, concerns, questions, suggestions are more than welcome, and happy to hear from you about that, any way that we can make that improve to you. We already talked about the street department, and all of it is really, really good, and I do wish for the public to address one issue. We did receive a lot of complaints from people, we received some complaints from people about their driveways and mailboxes being blocked by the snow and the like. I will tell, I empathize, I get it. I had 4 foot of snow and ice in front of my driveway that I had to get rid of, and I can appreciate the issues that it takes up, but bottom line is our priorities is to get those streets clean and clear and passable for the cars. I know that's an imposition for them, and I apologize for that, but there's no other way we can get rid of that snow. So, it's not that we don't think that, it's not that we don't care, it's just our priority is get these streets clean. And again, as you have said before, and I concur, that the street department did a phenomenal job about that. So I want to remind everybody, tomorrow night is the Route 67 Lindbergh Boulevard open house with MoDOT, 4 to 6 p.m. Hazelwood at the Civic Center East. I've given you notification that effective February 3rd, code enforcement will now be put under the jurisdiction of the police department. I felt that would have been is a very wise move, given if you've seen what's happened tonight with the rental housing program, how these two groups work together on the Haven Inn project. It just seemed like a better synergy that they could work together. And so again, I want to thank Chief Hudnick. He's grabbed a hold of this. And so again, February 3rd, they will now be part of the police. I've got a couple other changes we'll be presenting to you after I get some few I's dotted and the like. But this, I believe, is a really, really good move. Couple real quick other things. Parks Department was recognized last week As the White Birch Disc Golf Course was named a 2024 NOCO treasurer by the Greater North County Chamber of Commerce. And finally, the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, I've said this before, but I'll say it again, will host a Citizens Outreach Committee meeting for the FUSRAC program on Thursday, January 23rd from 6 to 8 p.m. It's a virtual meeting, so you can sit at the comfort from your office or home and participate in that light. I do thank you for your consideration on all these. That's the end of my report unless there are questions, concerns, or issues. Thank you.
That concludes city manager's report, city attorney's report.
I've already said too much.
City clerk's report.
No report.
New business, any new business in front of the city council? Hearing no new business, we have introduction and first reading of bills.
Bill number 5154, an ordinance enacting section 340.240 of the Hazelwood City Code relating to hands-free driving. Bill number 5151, first reading, an ordinance amending section 215.140 and prohibiting the reckless discharge of a firearm within or into the city limits. That concludes first reading of bills.
Next would be second reading of bills. There are none. Under agenda item 19, we've got the Martin Luther King Jr. Tribute Sunday, January 19th at 7 p.m. at the Civic Center East. We've got City Hall will be closed on Martin Luther King Day on January 20th. City Hall will be closed to the public Monday, January 27th. The community centers will remain open. Community center, Civic Center and Community Center will remain open. And then we have a regular city council meeting on February 5th at 6:30 p.m. Is there anything else from the city council? If not, then your motion to adjourn.
Don't move, Chairman. Second, Bruce.
Got a motion and a second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it.